meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everyone to the January 9, 2024 regular scheduled Fort Platte City Council meeting at Fort Platte City Hall in the Linda Hartlaub Chambers. Will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, Lord's Prayer, and a moment of silence for those serving with
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father,
Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, power, and glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you. You may be seated. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Beth Gilman,
present.
Mark Phillips,
Present.
Richard Morgan,
Here.
Kelly Gangle,
Here.
Kat Hovis,
Present.
Jerry Trolley, Kathy King.
Here.
Thank you. Council, you've previously received the December 19, 2023 regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Madam President, I move for acceptance of the minutes from the December 19th meeting.
Thank you. Second. Thank you, Mr. Trolley. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. The minutes are hereby approved. The chair notes that certification has been made regarding compliance with the rules and notifications of this meeting. We have no guest presentation, no public comment. Move on to executive officer reports. Council, this evening, there's a new resolution, 24-1. It can go to full three reads, and it will not go to committee. It is a normal thing that we do so that stuff can be sold internet sales. Council just has to approve that. Newly elected officials and ones that are already, that are in the middle of their term, please remember you need to do public records training one time during each term. Then you need to print that off. They don't give certificates any longer, so you have to go and print off the page and then give it to the auditor's office, Ms. Clementoff or Ms. Osheimer, so that they can record it, because the state auditors do ask for that stuff. That could be done online, in person. You just go to the auditor's website and look up for Sunshine Law. It's 3 hours and 15 minutes, I believe, is what the training is. Don't forget your ethics forms will be due, so you should have gotten an email for that. Under correspondence, we have a new liquor permit for J. Lau, is that? Lou. Okay, and then Gristmill Trucks permit that was on the agenda last time, just to tell us that it was coming. Council can take action on this tonight if you'd like. Also, proposed rules of council are at your desk. You will need it like the past in January, so if you could look through them to see if you have any suggestions. The only suggestion is, at this point, is for the agenda. That would move safety service director up to executive officer's reports, and then city staff reports would be changed, because Mr. Poston is the executive officer. So that's the only suggested change that I have. If you have any additional changes, just let me know before next meeting. And then if council chooses, they can vote on that at the next meeting. So that's all I have this evening. I'll move on to the mayor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, members of council, and Happy New Year to all of you. I'll be as brief as I can. Congratulations to Port Clinton High School senior DC Lanier. DC last night broke the all-time female scoring record in basketball. There's a ceremony going on right now with most of the 1,000-point scorers in Port Clinton High School basketball history. Obviously, she still has an opportunity to extend that record as the season is still undergoing. And at the end of this year, next fall, she plans on attending Siena Heights University in Adrian, Michigan. So if you see DC out and about, please give her a congratulations and tell her to keep going. Roger Smith, that name for many in this room brings back memories of CORD and that activity a little over a decade ago. But what's not known to many is that Roger Smith took it upon himself with the beautification committee to maintain the flower pots at the north end of the Jefferson Street walkway, and most recently then decorated that area for the holiday season. Unfortunately, Mr. Smith passed late December, and he will be sorely missed in our community for a variety of reasons. It just goes to reiterate the need for volunteers at a variety of things, whether it's in the beautification committee, on Kiwanis, on Lions, on Rotary, volunteering at the library, being a mentor in the school system. There's all sorts of things that community members can do to give back to their community. So please keep Mr. Smith in your thoughts and his family. Port Clinton Fireworks, just to give you an update, 20 years ago, when our committee started this process, the fireworks display was $8,000. This year's display, the same size as it was 20 years ago, is $17,200. Throw in an extra $1,000 for insurance and ancillary expenses like the little dash plaques that we give out at the car show, or the tiaras that are given out for the Firecracker Cutie contest. As of this moment, with funds raised from last year as a carryover, we are standing at $8,875.45. Again, for the record, $8,875.45, which puts us just over $9,300 in the hole. Keep an eye and ear out for any fundraising activities. We're talking about a couple of different things to keep that going, but if any of you would like to write a large check, I'll be happy to take that. That figure, that deficit, is assuming that the city budget will include the annual $2,000 in that. And then finally this evening, as you may all recall, former City Councilwoman Roseanne Hickman is in the process of fighting ALS. Her granddaughter is a senior at Oak Harbor High School in the DECA program. On the 27th of January at 6 p.m. they're having a fundraiser for ALS. I've asked the members of City Council if they'd like to create a trivia team. Thus far, Mr. Trolley and his wife have agreed to be on the team. If we can get one person, one more, obviously I'll be the fourth. If we get two more, I'll step off of this team and join our Kiwanis team. I believe at the city, there are at least two other teams. I know of Mr. Bealo's put together a team in his office. Mrs. Ostheimer has put together a City Hall team. So let's see if we can get one more person or two more and get this trivia contest going. With that, Madam President, I believe that concludes my report, unless anyone has any other questions.
Okay. Thank you. Move on to the auditor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. Council, you received the email at the end of last year and included under correspondence tonight is a bank reconciliation report for November 2023. I'd ask council to make a motion and approve that upon the correspondence section of the agenda. That's a state audit issue. There's an outstanding list of items towards the back of that document that'll shrink in time as we address each of those, and ideally everything will be addressed and we'll be operating 100% when it comes to reconciliation when we launch the new software system in March or April. So I'd ask you to pass that tonight. Also, there's a need to adjust the year-end appropriations ordinance 2923. It's my understanding Mrs. Hovis will offer a motion during her floor time to do just that. I encourage you to approve the motion and amend that ordinance 2923. Happy to answer any questions. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Do you council have any questions for Mr. Bealo? Okay, thank you very much. Treasurer's report.
I have no report today. Thank you.
Thank you. Law director report.
Thank you, Madam President. I was speaking with the mayor and the safety service director, and we received an email about a 1 hour presentation, a webinar, and the topic is for navigating the digital landscape, social media strategies for municipal officials. It's set for Thursday, January 25th, 2024 from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. The reason why I wanted to bring this to council is There is a registration fee that the city would need to pay in order to hear this, but anybody from the city can log on and listen to it. So I didn't know, as the officials, if there's any interest in it, if there isn't, but if you could let us know, because it would be something great. You know, for me, just to log on, listen to it is probably not worth it. It's $125. But if we have some people who are interested, it can go out to supervisors, it can go out to officials, go out to staff, it's just out there. This is supposed to be a pretty decent hours worth of information, and it said this fee is per city, no matter how many people participate separately. So we just need to know, and we need to do a participation form for each person, because it's online and you just need the code and everything. So if you could just let us know, we just to see if there's any interest. Other than that, I don't have anything additional tonight, Madam President.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Foster?
Yeah, I have one thing, the mayor doesn't even know this, but just checking my emails, and that signal crossing out there at Mr. Ed's, we just got authorization that we can go out to bid, so that'll be coming in the very near future, so I appreciate everybody's efforts on that. We've had a lot of right-of-way issues and different things to do, so we got that all taken care of. That just came across when I was looking at my phone, so. That's all I have tonight, Madam President. Thank you.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Foster? This is me. Okay, move on to committee reports. Finance, Ms. Solis. Nothing tonight. Thank you. Environment and Public Works, Mr. Chloe.
Yes, I would like to call the meeting for 5 o'clock before the next council meeting will be June 3rd. Thank you.
So it's time for you to post that. Appreciate it. Thank you. Safety Services, Ms. Phillips.
Thank you, Madam President. We don't have anything now in the works.
Thank you. Economic and Community Development, Mrs. Gilman.
We will have a meeting after the next council meeting on the 23rd to discuss some interesting stuff, including some art potentials in the city.
Madam President, I'd like to change my start time. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
That won't work with the 20th.
Yeah, next, that won't, after the next meeting, we'll
Okay, then put it on hold. We'll just put that on hold. I
Okay.
should know that.
I'd like to
So excited.
start time at 5:30 instead of 5.
You want to do, can you do yours at 5?
No? Cancel it?
Let's just know.
Okay.
We'll wait.
I would.
Okay, Madam President, for advice from Safety Service Director, I
Cancel
will
it this time?
reschedule that committee meeting.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, we'll move on to correspondence. Under correspondence, we have the Department of Commerce Division of Liquor Control, new liquor permit, J. At the Island House, 102 Madison Street, Port Clinton, Ohio. Does council wish to take any action? And we have Department of Commerce Division of Liquor Control trucks permit, Gristmill LLC for the number 4, Monroe Street, Port Clinton, Ohio. And we have the bank reconciliation report, November 23, 2023. Jeez, November 2023. Provided by Mr. Velo. This council wish to take any action as to the correspondence this evening?
Madam President, make a motion to approve all correspondence. Oh, you're right. Oh, liquor. It's a new year.
It's a new
We
year.
learned.
Same old
I did it wrong
year.
last
I'm so
Are you
sorry.
withdrawing your motion, Mr. Scully, at this point?
I'm withdrawing my.
Thank you.
For future, it'll come and play in a minute.
Yes,
Madam
it will.
President,
Yes.
I move we waive our right to a hearing for both of the liquor permits.
Okay,
I know.
any discussion? Okay, would the clerk please call the roll? Oh, I'm sorry, I need a second, please.
Second.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. King. Any discussion? Okay. I have a motion by Mrs. Gilman, seconded by Mrs. King, to waive hearing, with this right to a hearing in reference to both liquor permits. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Richard Morgan.
Yes.
Kelly Gangel.
Yes.
Jared Trolley.
Yes.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Fran Hovis.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Thank you.
This Council wish to take any further action?
Madam President,
Yes.
I move that we approve the bank reconciliation report provided by Mr. Bureau.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Any discussion? Okay. I have a motion by Mrs. Gilman, seconded by Mr. Trolley to approve the bank reconciliation report provided by Mr. Beal. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Kathy King,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Kelly Gangle,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley,
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Thank you. Would council like to take any further action as to the correspondence this evening?
Get the motion to approve correspondence as written.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. King. Any discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Mrs. King to approve the correspondence as stated. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Correspondence is hereby approved. We'll move on to readings of ordinances and resolutions. We have no third readings, we have no second reading. We have the first reading. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, resolution 24-1.
Resolution 24-1, a resolution authorizing sale of personal property by internet auction.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to resolution 24-1? Seeing none, resolution 24-1 will move to its second reading on January 23rd, 2024. Move on to business from the floor. Mrs. Otis?
Madam President, I move to amend ordinance 29-23, passed December 19th, to reflect the following new sums as appropriated for the identified departments, funds, and transfers. City Council, personal savings, $37,556.07. City Council total, $40,056.07. Auditor, other, $5,124.09. Auditor, total, $155,724.09. Transfer to City Beautification Fund, $13,749.67. Transfers total, $226,559.67. Harbor Patrol Personal Services, $20,992.02. Harbor Patrol Other, $10,904.04. Harbor Patrol total, $31,896.06. Sewer Other, $2,438,979.42. Sewer total, $3,362,979.42. One Ohio Opioid Settlement Fund, $2,500. To strike in its entirety the National Opioid Settlement Fund. To reflect the total appropriations authorized by ordinance 29-23. General fund total, $4,864,516.83. All funds total, $20,069,240.32. Less transfers between funds, $3,526,559.67. Net appropriation, $16,542,680.65. And further, that the amendment be effective on the date of the original passage of the ordinance.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Cole. Any questions or discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Mrs. Hovis to amend ordinance 29-23 as she stated, seconded by Mr. Troy. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes, ma'am.
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Kelly Gangle,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley,
Yes.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Ordinance 29-23 is hereby amended. Okay, Mr. Troy. Do you have anything else, Ms. Sims? I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Mr. Trolley.
Just a couple items. I hope everybody had a great holiday season. Of course, we haven't heard anything about Flip. That means we haven't gotten the approval yet. Have they given you any hints as to when it might happen? And is there anything we can tell our citizens other than we're waiting? Because I'm catching up with things.
The
Nothing.
next milestone might be reached this week, but that's
Okay.
to be determined.
All right.
That's what bond counsel told me recently.
Okay, all right. That's all, Madam President. And by the way, this is starting my third term, so I will learn how to do these things. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Mrs. King.
Oh, I just want to say happy holidays to everybody. Hope you had a wonderful time. And I was excited to see that Jaylene is moving forward. I can't wait to try it. I've heard great things.
Thank you. Mr. Morgan?
No, nothing.
Okay. Mrs. Beal? No. Thank you. Ms. Phillips?
I've heard nothing that I haven't heard before, so we're good.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Gilman?
I just hope everybody's ready for the storm that may or may not come. You know, the lake is still open water, so I know the city's excited for this event to happen. I appreciate all the work they do. And Madam President, I move we enter into executive session to discuss the employment of a public employee and review charges, and to discuss with the law director pending or imminent court action.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Phillips. We're going to executive session. Very much. Okay. Oh, will the clerk please call the roll? I have a motion by Mrs. Gilman, second by Ms. Phillips, to enter executive session. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Pam Hovis?
Yes.
Kelly Gangel? Yes. Richard Morgan?
Yes.
Margaret Phillips?
Yes.
Beth Gilman?
Yes.
Gary Trolley?
Yes.
Kathy King?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. We go into executive session. By a vote of 7-0, we are going into executive session at 22. Thank you. Okay, we are back on the record. It is 8:22.
Madam President, I move we proceed forward with the hearing, and we did all receive a complaint from the mayor tonight.
I will second that.
Thank you. Any discussion? We have a motion by Mrs. Gilman and a second by Mr. Trolley to proceed to hearing, administrative hearing on the complaint filed by the mayor. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Richard Morgan?
Yes.
Kelly Gangel?
Yes.
Margaret Phillips?
Yes.
Beth Gilman?
Yes.
Kathy King?
Yes.
Jerry Trolley?
Yes.
Pat Hovis?
Yes.
What was the date of the hearing?
The date of the hearing will be January 23rd, 2024 at 6 p.m. The motion carries by a vote of 7-0. There will be a hearing, administrative hearing, the next regular scheduled council meeting, January 23rd, 2023 at 6 p.m.
24.
Oh, 20, I'm sorry, January 20th.
Move adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Margaret?
I move this August body adjourned.
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, seconded by Mrs. King. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign.
You said the 23rd.
Yep.
23rd, 2020.
She said